Hello you guys, today is day 98. Woo! So I want to talk to you today about, I'm going to give you a Reader's Digest version of my story. Because there's been a lot of questions as to why I'm doing what I'm doing. So let's just sum it up real fast. So in 1990s, the late 1990s, I started getting sick. My body started getting big and we didn't know why. It wasn't like I was eating McDonald's or something like that, because I've always pretty much resided at a vegetarian type diet. So we weren't real sure what was going on. I went from being a super strong, healthy, young person, quadding with my son, competing who can jump the highest, skateboarding and skating and hiking, and to walking with a cane, being bedridden in a matter of, and plus my body got like 100+ pounds bigger. And it seemed like that happened within a few month span, just like overnight. And we didn't know what the heck was going on. So we spent tons of money, tons of testing to try to figure out what was going on. Let's see, the doctors said I had lupus. They said I had leaky gut because there were so many toxins in my blood. It just seemed like the symptoms just kept coming. Like after a while, I started to think that I started to feel like a hypochondriac, because it seemed like my body was completely breaking down. And you guys, I have always been a super strong person. Like, I don't know anybody that can outwork me. Seriously, even a man. I am a very hard worker, and for me, all of a sudden to be walking with a cane and being housebound because I can't move was shocking. What I know is that I was getting sicker, and they just want to dope you up on their prescriptions, and I just wasn't having it because I wasn't getting better. I remember at one point I asked the doctor, when do we actually start looking at the root? Like, how long do I have to take this medicine? When does it make it better? And she just looked at me. So that answered my question. So it all went in the garbage. And then I started reading books, tons of books. I started reading anything I could that had to do with living longer. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, John Robbins, who's an awesome author. Now at this point, it's 2006. We didn't know I had Lyme disease. All I knew is I kept getting sicker and sicker by the day. Then I got a lump in my breast. And of course my husband freaked out. And so I went to the doctor because of the way that it was positioned. It kind of felt like an octopus. And so I went to the doctor, and of course right away she examines me and she leaves the room, and she went and called the hospital because she wanted me to go in right then and there because it was hooked to my lymph nodes. And she gave me, this is a very big doctor firm, gave me a 5-year prognosis that if I didn't go have a mastectomy, that I wouldn't be here longer than 5 years. That was in 2006. So I personally don't believe in chemo, radiation. I don't believe in testing for biopsies. Everybody has their own opinions and belief systems, and you have got to do what works for you, period, no matter what anybody says. Those things don't jive with my belief system. So I came home and I talked to my husband. I said, listen, here's what the deal is. And so we started juicing. I didn't know anything about juice feasting at this point. It's only 2006. So we started juicing and eating more raw food because I was going to handle it naturally. Of course, I dive into the books of how to cure breast cancer naturally. So I start doing body talk, acupuncture, I start taking Chinese herbs, I start trying to detox my body, doing everything I possibly can to handle that myself. Within 2 years, I had 4 lumps. The one lump had 3 more lumps. So, my girlfriend, Vicky, said, that's it, throwing you on a plane, and you're coming to the Healing Center in Colorado. So, reluctantly, you guys, because I was in bad shape, like really bad shape. I didn't even know that I could do the plane ride over there by myself. My husband, he had to stay and work because I had to leave for like over a month. So, I don't even know how I made it there, but I drug my butt on that plane, and she took me every day. Oh my gosh, bless that woman's heart. Paid for the plane ticket, made sure I got to all my appointments, and I'm telling you, that place changed my life. It really was the shot in the arm that I needed to get me over the hump to healing. So I found out about total raw food there, like eating total raw food. And I also found out about juice feasting there. Now, when I first found out about juice feasting, I thought those people were crazy. There's no way that I thought. I had tried everything except for juice feasting. So there was no way I wasn't going to say that I have tried everything. So of course I come home and I'm ready to try this juice feasting thing. But first I'm going to try 100% raw food to see if that works first, because the juice feasting thing seemed a little bit extreme to me. But I know that when the teeter-totters totally flip the other way, you have to do sometimes drastic measures to flip it back on the other side so you can get some sort of a balance. I totally get that. So, but I guess I wasn't quite ready to do that yet. I just wanted to see if the raw food would work. So me and my husband and my son, we pull up our bootstraps and we are going to do this raw food, right? And we do it and we love it. And, you know, my body's starting to respond. I went from having 4 breast lumps to that one breast lump that was hooked to my lymph nodes. That was the only one that was left standing. Then we found out that I was dealing with Lyme disease. So that kind of answered a lot of questions as to why I would get sick so easy, why it was so hard to be around other people, because I just didn't dare even go to a store because I would get so overwhelmed with the energy and so sick just being around other people's germs because I was so compromised. Not to mention it would wipe me out for days on end just leaving my environment. That I had down there, my body lost like 30 pounds of fluid because what happened was my liver was enlarged and it was causing all kinds of problems. And we didn't know why. Well, with the lymphatics stuff that they were doing at the Healing Center, it helped get things moving. So my body was trying to respond, but I just wasn't connecting the dots that if I had proper nutrition, it would help move things along. Well, anyway, I thought I was having good nutrition, having a vegetarian diet, but it wasn't good enough because my body was so badly toxic. You guys, crawling up the stairs, gasping for air, bedridden because I couldn't even move. Do you want to see the cane my husband made? Check it out. Do I love this guy? Give a man duct tape and he can create anything for you. Seriously, check it out. Okay, here it is. Can you see it? So I'm seeing progress.